What's up, you guys? This is your boy, Professor Pecora, in the house. Welcome to a big book review. Actually, the first big book review I'm doing on YouTube because all of the previous ones were exclusively released on my IG channel. So with that being said, if you want to drop down in the description, I have the links to my IG channel, my CGC registry bio, and I also have the link to the official write-up on this book that I'm going to be reviewing in this video. So you can actually check the full written version out when you get a chance if you are interested. I would just ask that you hear it all the time from the YouTube creators. Please subscribe, like, and share. That would be awesome because it helps the algorithm allow more people to get my videos in their feeds. And believe me, once I start dropping the review videos, there's going to be a whole slew of others that will follow down the road. So without further ado, thank you once again for joining in. Again, my name's Professor Pecora, and yeah, I'm excited because this is the first YouTube big book review I'm doing. I used to do all these on Instagram. So all my Instagram followers, thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate you. You know, now we can get into the book, okay? So Daredevil number 176, Newsstand Edition, that's the key here. CGC graded 9.8 white pages, okay? Before I get into the book that I'm going to show you in just a moment here, I just want to give you a quick background, okay? So promise it won't be boring, all right? So I saw a CGC graded 9.6 white page Newsstand Edition copy of this book, along with Daredevil number 169 Newsstand Edition 9.6 white pages on ComicLink. I saw a lot of potential in these specific copies because they were in the old CGC holders with the old label, first generation labels with that square label where you can barely read the writing on them, right? So that's what the Daredevil 176 was holdered in, and then 169 was holdered into a second generation label. So I looked at them very closely for any good pressable defects, and I said, you know what, I have to buy them because I feel like they have 9.8 potential. Sure enough, I submitted these books to Matt of Up Comic Pressing, which I also have his link and information in the description of this video if you're interested too, okay? I submitted them to him, he cracked them out, pressed them, sent them to CGC, and man, you know how it is when you submit books. You're always looking at the, the submission, order, what's the status. But man, when I received the 9.8 grade, I was ecstatic because you hardly ever see a Daredevil number 176 in a Newsstand edition ever. You know what I mean? I've only seen one previously, and it sold on ComicLink back in March of 2022, last year, over a year ago, for $1,900, right? That was the only other sale I've seen publicly, and there are no GPA sales data on this book because there haven't been any other 9.8 Newsstand editions for sale. With all that being said, here is this bad boy book that I am talking about. Bam! Right here. Thank you for, listening to the background information that leads up to why I'm so ecstatic to have this book in my collection. Okay, as you can see, the colors are super bright, vibrant on this copy, right? You could just see it right here. The camera's not lying. I got no filters in here, right? This is the real deal. It is perfectly wrapped and centered, right? Where you see none of the front cover on the back cover, right? Look how bright white that is as well. And you don't see any of the back cover along the front cover or along the spine. And people who've known me on Instagram, I get really intimate with my big book reviews, right? I like to show the spine up close. Look at how nice that is and shiny. No, you don't even really see no spine ticks. It's beautiful. There's a faint one on there you could barely see, but it is a pristine copy. As you can see, all around the edges are sharp, perfect cover wrap and centering, beautiful colors, okay? And it is just a beauty, all right? So Daredevil number 176, CGC 9.8, Newsstand Edition, right? And the Newsstand Edition label, as you could see right there. Beautiful. I love how they started recognizing newsstands on the labels, talking about CGC, right? Right, and they even put it like right here on that part of the label as well. It's awesome. Now, what's the significance of Daredevil number 176, okay? So, let's start with the Frank Miller run, okay? So, the Frank Miller run, right, you got to start with Daredevil 158. That's where Frank Miller took over as the artist in the run, right? I'm going to put this book down. I'll come back to it. Check this out. But then in Daredevil 168, wow, he took over the title as both the artist and the writer. And this is a major grail right here because this is the origin and first appearance of Elektra. So Frank Miller introduced 3 major characters in his run, and this being the first. This will be a review video in depth for another day. I'm going to put this back now. I just wanted to kind of throw this out there for you guys real quick. But wow, this is world-class copy here too. But anyways, then he introduced everyone to the Hand in Daredevil 174, right, which is the ninja assassin clan known as the Hand. Then 2 issues later, he introduced everybody to Daredevil's blind martial arts mentor and trainer, Stick, okay? So, a major character here who was also featured in the Daredevil streaming series, okay? And he was also, you know, brought in other series as well. I'm trying to even remember. I'm having a little brain fog right quick, but it's all good. But anyways, getting back to the book, I'm not even going to edit this out, right? So this is Daredevil number 176, Newsstand Edition. And I'm telling you, you barely ever see this book in a 9.8 newsstand. So just to have this in my hand right here, it's just such a beautiful copy. Now, on the cover, you have the ninja, one of the leaders of the Hand, that's Kirigi, with the sword dropping down to Elektra. Elektra actually kills him in this issue, okay? So these are some of the grails in the Frank Miller run, right? So you got Daredevil number 168, which features the origin and first appearance of Elektra. Then you have and that's also Frank Miller's first, title issue in which he took over the title as the writer and the artist, right? Then Daredevil 174, which is the first appearance of the Hand, right? In which Kirigi is a part of. And then you got Daredevil 176 is the first appearance of Stick, all right? Daredevil's blind martial arts mentor and trainer. Grail in the Frank Miller run. You don't hardly ever see this issue again. I mean, a 9.8 newsstand, go check around. You won't find one. Like I said, the last sale was $1,900 on ComicLink, which they do not report to GPAnalysis, by the way. Some of you already may know that, but ComicLink does not report to GPAnalysis. Only, okay, now say if I were to sell this copy on ComicLink, if I wanted my sale to be reported, I could self-report the sale because I was the consignor, and they will record it. I've done that before. Also, if you purchase a book from ComicLink, okay, and if you want your purchase to be recorded, they will do that as well. You have to email them directly, and then with a link, right, to the actual auction where it has the auction ID in the hyperlink, and they will add it to the GPA data. Just a heads up. Now, I also want to go over newsstand editions, right? For those who may not know the history for newsstands, let's talk about it right quick, okay? Newsstand editions weren't always around, okay? So let's just start with the barcode, right? Barcodes started being placed on comic books within the second half of 1976, okay? So from the second half of 1976, all comic books were newsstand editions, wherever they went, the comic stores, the carousel racks, wherever, okay? Then 3 years later, around the second half of 1979, right, still in the Bronze Age of comics, They started making direct editions and newsstand editions. Direct editions would have like the Spider-Man logo or another comic book figure in place of the UPC barcode here with artwork, and that would be the direct editions starting in the second half of 1979. Those direct editions got distributed directly to comic book shops. They had pre-orders, etc. And those direct editions really didn't get handled as like the newsstand editions did. These guys, the newsstand editions, would start being distributed to 7-Elevens, bookstores, grocery stores. So anybody who saw a copy could just pick them off the rack or whatever, read them, enjoy them, you know, like you would back in the day, and, you know, just enjoy the book. So with that being said, whether it was early on or later on, because newsstands are much rarer as you get towards the modern age of comics, because they literally just started doing away with newsstands. And I think like in the early 2000s or the late 2010s, like 2012, 2013, newsstand editions were just obsolete altogether. You know what I mean? It was just like, you know, everything's direct. Okay, but you have to also remember the handling. Even back in the days, people used to handle these, and even say like 1981. This book was published in November of 1981, okay? People read comic books back in the day. There weren't video games were just coming out. You know what I mean? It wasn't like everything we have nowadays with the technology. So even though early on, the early newsstands, you got to consider they're still rare because more people were reading comic books back in the day, as opposed to, I would say, even now. We still have a lot of readers, but there's more choices for teenagers and entertainment and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, like it was a real thing to read comic books. So a lot of these newsstand editions got handled pretty, you know, generously, you know. So just to have a newsstand edition in pristine condition like this is awesome. You know what I mean? It's just really, really dope. You know, and I know my review videos could be a little long, but I know that I provide a lot of valuable information as well. So I hope that you are enjoying this. You know, if you are, you know, definitely please give me a like, subscribe to my channel. I will be releasing more review videos. This copy is a part of my personal collection as of right now. You know what I mean? Will I sell it? Maybe. But right now, I love collecting key Daredevil books, especially within the Frank Miller run, right? Another book that I really love in this run is Daredevil 183, which features the first meeting of Daredevil and the Punisher. Highly underrated key book as well within his run. I mean, with that iconic Frank Miller Punisher shooting Daredevil on that cover. And I have that too. I could have pulled that one out for this video, but we'll do that for another day. All right. But let me just, I got some notes. I just want to make sure that I'm covering everything. I did newsstands. I did the Frank Miller run. Yeah, you know, and then, CGC census data. Okay. So as of May 9th, you know, while I'm recording this video, right, 2023, there are 532 copies graded on the CGC census altogether. Out of those 532 copies, how many we got here? There are a total of 78 and 9.8, right? With only, that's about 14.66% of the total population. However, this is the newsstand edition variant, and there are a lot less newsstand editions than there are direct. That's a fact, okay? So I don't even know. I wish they had a census on how many were graded, but in 9.8, man, like I said, I've only seen one copy sell ever, you know what I mean? And that was on ComicLink 2022 for $1,900, right? So that's the CGC census data behind this awesome book. This was an upgrade. This was originally in an first generation CGC holder, and it is a stunner. All right. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, and all my review videos are going to be thorough. You know, I like to get intimate with the books. Remember, it's not all about the grade. Although I go for super high grade and I love newsstand editions, for any key book that I'm going after, I usually go for the newsstand editions because they're just more rare. And it's more of a prize piece to own the newsstand edition variant of whatever issue you are trying to acquire, you know? So cover wrap and centering is big, color vibrancy, even like the staple placement, you know what I mean? Like the staples are like, look at that. It's like perfect. Staple placement is perfect. This is like the perfect copy. You couldn't ask for a better copy, you know, unless it was like a 9.9. But I mean, it presents like a 9.9. So it's a really awesome acquisition. So Daredevil number 176, Newsstand Edition CGC 9.8, white pages, perfectly wrapped and centered and all that good stuff. All right, so another awesome acquisition into the PC. Really, really proud to have this copy. You don't see them around too often with that black spine there. It's just super hard to get in high grade. And yeah, thank you for watching. There will be more review videos to come. This is the first of many. Check the links in my description if you want to go check out more content. Follow me on IG. Check out my CGC registry bio. That's pretty dope when you get a chance. You know, I definitely get thorough into that. You know, yeah, and then subscribe and share the video, please. You know what I mean? There might be somebody else interested to get the history behind this book, why it's significant, and all that good stuff. A lot of good information here. I'm the professor. I'm supposed to do that, right? Get to know me. I hope you guys are doing well overall, man. Remember, you know, your, health and your relationships with God, I believe I'm a believer, you know, and your family's first, and, you know, then collecting comes after, you know, all that good stuff. You know, just put things in perspective and just be appreciative of all the small things like I do all the time, man. You know what I mean? Like, I never take things for granted, and, you know, got to be thankful for everything. So I just want to, you know, put that out there for you too. You know what I mean? Whatever you're going through, keep your head up. We're all going through something. We're all struggling through these hard times, and, you know, just stay strong. You know, talk to somebody you can trust. All right. So I'm going to end this video here. I know this is a little long. It's all good. Thank you once again. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for checking me out. And there's going to be more great content to come. Thank you so much, everybody. So let me just put this beautiful book down, say goodbye to all of you, and get ready for another review video coming soon. Yep. Peace and God bless.